Most of us have this idea that our memory works kind of like a perfect video camera. You see something, you experience it, and your brain just hits record and files it away. And yeah, sure, maybe some of those files get a little blurry over time or you lose one here and there, but the ones you have, they're an accurate record of what really happened, right? Well, not so fast. Okay, so let's get into this because it's fascinating. Psychologists who study this stuff, they say our memory is a lot less like a camera and way more like a Wikipedia page. I mean, think about it. It's a great reference. You can get the general idea, but here's the kicker. Every single time you pull up a memory, you can accidentally edit it. And what's even crazier, other people can edit it too. Let's break down a few of the ways your mind can be tricked into remembering things that just never happened. So first up, we've got the incredible power of suggestion. This is when little hints or bits of information from the outside world can sneak into your memories and basically rewrite them from the inside out. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but trust me, it happens all the time. To really see how this works, let's look at this classic study from back in the 70s. Researchers showed a group of people a video of a car crash. Pretty simple. Afterwards, they asked the first group this very neutral, straightforward question. How fast were the cars going when they hit each other? But then, for the second group, they changed one tiny thing, just one word. The question became, how fast were the cars going when they smashed each other? It doesn't seem like a big deal, right? Hit, smashed, what's the difference? Well, it turns out that one single powerful word had a huge effect on what people remembered. And the results were just wild. Not only did the group that heard the word smashed guess the cars were going a lot faster, but get this, a week later, the researchers asked them if they saw any broken glass in the video. Now, there wasn't any broken glass, but 16 of the people who heard smashed said, yes, I saw it. That's more than double the people from the hit group. That one word literally created a brand new false detail in their memory. Okay, so we know that suggestions from the outside world can warp our memories. But what happens when the bad information comes from us? This brings us to another huge flaw in our memory. We are terrible at remembering the source of our own information. In psychology, this is called source misattribution. You know that feeling when you're like, wait, did I read that in an article? Did my friend tell me that? Or did I just dream it? That's it. Our brains, for whatever reason, are just not great at putting a little tag on our memories that says where they came from. And that can lead to some serious confusion between what's real and what we've only imagined. So check out this study that put this idea to the test. Researchers brought people into a lab and had them do one of two things. They either had to actually do a simple action, like smell a flower, or they had to just vividly imagine doing a different action, like sitting on a pair of dice. Then everyone went home, and the researchers just waited. And the results were kind of mind-blowing. 2 weeks later, when they brought everyone back and asked, okay, which of these things did you actually do? People got it wrong over half the time. They were totally confident that they remembered performing actions that they had only ever imagined in their heads. The line between doing and thinking had completely blurred. All right, so we've seen how other people can trick us and how we can trick ourselves by mixing up reality and imagination. But here's where it gets even weirder. Sometimes our brains just invent memories out of thin air with no help from anyone. These are called spontaneous false memories, and they happen because our brain is, at its core, a pattern-matching machine that sometimes gets a little carried away. In fact, you don't have to take my word for it. We can try it out right now. Let's do a quick little memory test, you and me. I'm about to show you a list of words. All you have to do is try your best to memorize them. You ready? Okay, here's the list. We've got glass, pane, shade, sill, house, open, curtain, and frame. Try to lock those into your brain. Got them? Think you have them memorized? All right, great. Let's see how well you did. Okay, here's the test. Take a look at the second list. Which of these words do you recognize from that first list I showed you? We've got door, glass, shade, house, window, and open. Go ahead and make a mental note of the ones you think you saw before. So, how'd you do? I'm willing to bet that many of you are absolutely certain you saw the word window on that first list. Well, guess what? You've just experienced a spontaneous false memory. Go ahead and check. Window was never there. But because every other word on the list, glass, pane, sill, curtain, is so closely related to it, your brain just automatically filled in the blank. It created a memory of something that never actually happened. And this sort of thing isn't just a fun party trick. It can have incredibly serious real-world consequences. A related type of error is called unconscious transference. This is when your brain takes a face you saw in one situation and mistakenly pastes it into another. And it's a massive problem for eyewitnesses in court. For instance, one study showed a group of 11 and 12-year-olds a video of a theft. When an innocent bystander was in an earlier part of the video, those kids were actually more likely to pick the innocent person out of a lineup than the person who actually committed the crime. And what's really wild is that adults, with all our extra life experience and brain patterns, are often even more likely to make this exact mistake. So, after seeing all these different ways our memories can be edited, scrambled, and even just made up from scratch, what are we supposed to do with this information? Well, the big takeaway is that maybe, just maybe, we should all take our own memories with a huge grain of salt. So, here's what it all boils down to. First, your memory is not a perfect recording. It's a reconstruction that you build every single time. Second, external suggestions, even just a single word, can totally change what you remember. Third, it's shockingly easy to confuse something you imagined with something you really did. And finally, your brain is always working in the background, automatically filling in gaps to make stories make sense, whether those details are real or not. And all of this leaves us with a pretty deep and honestly kind of unsettling question. When you know how easily your mind can be influenced, how often it blurs that line between fact and fiction, and how it literally invents details to complete a picture, can you really, truly trust your own memory?